What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today we have the Return to Sanctuary. And I'm going to be honest, this is probably one of my favorite little events. I like the challenge events, but this one I really do like because it doesn't stop you from getting decent scores. I was doing pretty well. And to be fair, actually for the first time, I've been doing really good in the legendary event. And it's mostly thanks to... who is my dude that's on my team right now? How do I see it? So this dude, that I've just maxed, Mr. Kagan, he's being an absolute beast in the legendary, event, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, if you do have Kagan Toon, definitely don't sleep on him. It's really useful, to be using him in the Return to Sanctuary event. And it's pretty easy to go through. Obviously, if you do want any sort of tips and tricks and things like that about how to play through the events, then please do let me know. And we will do that for you guys. But for today, the main event is the Summon Portal. And we do have a quirky looking little gargoyle. You can see he's like smaller than every single one of the other gargoyles, even though they're all pretty small and cutesy. This guy's even smaller. And his name is, interestingly enough, Vincent. And he's the googly-eyed little gargoyle that you see in the animations when you open up the portal. And we now have him in the Summon Portal as well. So we're going to take a look at him today. And we also have a brand new 4-star gargoyle in here. So, of course, we're going to have a look at that dude as well. But we'll start off with Vincent. So he is an ice gargoyle. We do already have Pop Hit, who is a fantastic gargoyle, so he's got a lot to live up to. And Vincent is of the wizard class. Interestingly enough, Pop Hit is of the wizard class as well. So yeah, again, very similar. And the other bit that's quite similar is that they run at exactly the same speed. So again, very similar heroes. Now, just to recap quickly, the family bonus, it's a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes. For 1 hero, you're immune to poison damage. For 2 heroes, you're immune to poison and burn damage. For 3 heroes, you're immune to poison, burn, and water damage. So basically, any kind of ailments you're going to be immune to, except for bleed and sand, basically. And then they get the event hero bonus, which is running in the Return to Sanctuary event. The event hero bonus does not prevent the stone skin though. So you are still going to have to deal with the stone skin. But remember that the stone skin only actually triggers in the event after you do your damage. So you can kind of work it out to where you don't need to deal with the stone skin. Anyways, moving on. The passive that he gets is the Gargoyle Soft Skin. So I said stone skin, I meant to say soft skin. So every time this gargoyle casts a special skill, their soft skin activates, and the next 3 times they receive damage, it is reduced by 90%. And they resist all status ailments and mana reductions. The effect can't be dispelled. So the amount of times they resist the damage or the soft skin activates depends on the speed of the hero. So because Vincent is running at fast speed, his soft skin will last for 3 turns. It's still a very good effect. Because 90% reduced damage and resistance against mana reductions and status ailments is really very strong. So, in terms of stats, we will switch off the max power preview for this little dude now. We're looking at quite good attacking stats. So 1178 on the attack, 1079 on defense, pardon me, and 1915 on health. So really decent stats, quite attacking, for a total team power of 1107. That is strong. In terms of the ether talent, we are looking at the special boost. So that means that at the start of each turn, his special skill deals an additional 30% damage for the first 6 turns. Okay. Now, as far as what he is actually doing, let us have a look. I mean, I have had to read over this card before, and I'm just going to warn you guys up front. This is a bit of a different hero. And different, I mean different not in a great way. So, he's running at fast speed, and his special skill is called Cold Fire, which is a weird name. And I feel like that flame that he's got should be blue for some reason if it's cold. Or maybe blue's like the one that's super hot. I don't know. So anyway, if an enemy has the frost status ailment, Then all enemies get negative 30% defense against ice for 5 turns. Okay, that's a long defense down. And then deals 270% damage to all enemies. So it's an upfront defense down against ice, and then 270% to all. It's a pretty good hit running at fast speed, but it is dependent on whether the enemy has the frost status ailment or not. Now, if the enemy does not have the frost status ailment, he will deal 200% damage to all enemies and give all enemies 1040 frost damage over 5 turns. Now, this is with the max power preview on. So if I switch it off, you're going to see it goes down to 705 frost damage over 5 turns, which is not a huge amount. I mean, that's just over 100 damage per turn for 5 turns, not uncleansable or anything like that. Yes, if he fires off a second time, you're going to be getting the negative defense down and a slightly harder hit. But to be honest, this is so freaking trash in comparison to the other heroes that we have in this portal. This is just a real laughable kind of hero, and I'm super surprised that they released him as is, because I don't know how, in whose mind, that Vincent stacks up next to Pop Hit or Garten or Uwe or any of the other gargoyles that are in this portal. He is just terrible. I mean, let's try and give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so 200% damage to all enemies is a pretty okay hit for fast speed, but the frost damage is miserable and measly, and like I said before, it can't be cleansed. Now, the second bit, where he gets, if the frost status element is there, giving the initial defense down against ice is pretty cool. But it's a negative 30% defense against ice, which runs for 5 turns. But then you've got heroes like Perseus running at fast speed that not only block all healing, but give like negative 64% defense down against ice. And that runs, I think, for 4 turns. So why would you level this guy over him? In fact, why would you level this guy over anybody else who gives a higher amount of defense down against ice? Because you know where you're going to use it and how you're going to use them. I just cannot see any good use case for this hero. I think the passive is pretty cool, but like I say, they all get the same passive. But aside from that, I'm going to put this hero right down at the bottom of the barrel with the sludge and the slime and the horrible stuff that you find in the bottom of your dustbin, because that's where he should be. And I do apologize to any of you who are unlucky enough to pull Vincent, but if you are, this is the booby prize of the Gargoyles portal. Sorry, I nearly said goblins because I was thinking about Kettle. I would rather have Kettle the goblin over Vincent. And that is enough said. This hero is a piece of trash. Now, let us move on to better things, because we do have a brand new 4-star in the hero portal. And that is this guy, also a weird googly-eyed looking mofo called Vonreine. And Vonreine is a fire gargoyle. He is a 4-star, so he is a bit more easily obtainable. Sadly, I wasn't able to obtain him myself, but he is a monk class, so that gives him the chance to withstand, and he gets the same gargoyle family bonus, so the resistance against ailments. Now, with this guy, he does get the gargoyle soft skin as well, but his one will last for 4 turns, because he's running at average speed. Every time they hit for 4 turns, the damage is reduced by 90%, and they resist all status ailments, mana reductions, the effect can't be dispelled, etc. So that is cool for Mr. Vonreine. Now, in terms of the power, let's have a quick look with the max power on. We are looking at, hold on a second, where has he gone? Just give me one moment, guys. There he is. So with the max power on, we're looking at 1071 attack, decent, nearly 1000 defense and 1900 health. So I would put this guy, you know, this is with the master emblems and things like that as well. But I would do that for him because his stats are pretty damn decent. Like nearly 1000 team power is good. Is really, really good, especially for a 4-star hero. He benefits from the fiend resist as well, so you can sort of stop those nasty fiends if they are coming on. And his special skill is called firing on all cylinders. So he's running at average speed, and he'll deal 285% damage to the target and nearby enemies. and then he summons a Fire Wisp Fiend to the target and nearby enemies. The Fiend absorbs healing and disappears after absorbing a healing amount equal to 35% of the target's max health, and the caster steals 30% of generated mana from the target and nearby enemies. The effect lasts as long as the target has Fire Wisp Fiends. The effect cannot be cleansed, but gets removed if the caster is defeated. Man, this is nice. Now, this is a great hero. And this, I mean, maybe they put him in the wrong portal. Maybe he was supposed to be the 5-star with better stats, and they just ended up releasing Vincent instead. But to be quite honest, this guy is going to be a beast. And you know what? He's also going to be a beast in the upcoming Bloody Wars, because, you know, the fiends are going to be undispellable because you're not going to be able to take them away. So that negative effect that he gives is going to be awesome in those wars, and I can see myself using him. Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to grab him. I did try a few pulls, but I'm sure he'll come around. So 285% damage to the target and nearby is a good solid hit for an average speed 4-star hero. And then the Wisp Fiend reminds me of the Slayer's family dude. So the Fire Wisp Fiend absorbs up to 35% of the target's max health. And then the caster steals 30% of generated mana. I think that's probably the bit that I like the most about this. So as long as they've got the Fiend, they're going to be stealing 30% of the generated mana. That's only going to apply to the caster. But the great thing about that is it gets him back around to his charge quicker, which means that he can fire off again. And again, you're adding more and more fiends onto the target, and it's just attacking them, and it's making it that much more difficult. It's stacking mana for you. This guy is going to be an absolute brute in the Bloody Battle format and in the Bloody Wars. You can mark my words now, this guy is going to be sought after even at the top level for when those Bloody Wars come around. So yeah, Vonreine in my book is an absolute S tier 4-star, and it is long overdue. Please do not change this hero. He's freaking fantastic. Don't make any changes to this guy. Just leave him as is. And also the other 4-star that's in this portal, just before we sort of sign off, the other 4-star, this dude, he's actually really, really good as well. He is running at slow speed, but he gives that soft skin effect to all of his allies. And then he's a health recovery and has a cleanse for all allies as well. So he's a really decent 4-star. This portal is starting to look pretty damn good. Unfortunately, we do still have the older Gargoyles in here as well. But to be quite honest, the new ones are all excellent, except for this piece of trash. And unfortunately, we do not have a 2x event. So that is enough said on the Gargoyles. I will obviously want to get your guys' feedback on this guy, because I have no idea what they are thinking releasing a hero like this into this portal. Maybe they just want to balance things out and they need to drop us a Salmon Loki or a Kettle every now and then, just to balance the world of empires and puzzles and the power creep and everything else. But if that's the case, you know, this guy is the epitome of that, in my humble opinion. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of Vincent, and also what you think of Vonreine. And also definitely drop us a like and subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed already, I can't recommend it enough. Obviously, I know it's my channel, but if you enjoy the content and you don't want to miss anything that's coming up, we always have big things coming up. In fact, we are currently working on quite an amazing video, which I'm very much looking forward to. So that you will not want to miss. So do subscribe to the channel. Consider memberships if you want to have a look on the channel and you want to maybe contribute towards the channel. That always means a great deal to me. But that is enough said, really enough said now. I wish you guys everything of the best. Like, subscribe, share it with your mother, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.